when we last left off, you had all met your new group members, or most of them. You were told one was en route eventually, and began your journey to Glow Hollow. Somewhat set on autopilot in your new vehicle, you veered a bit off course before your new friend Bartholomew merged, for lack of a better term, with your vehicle or craft, and it reverted immediately back to its normal Tresum form, with the core power getting lower and lower, now seemingly stable for the most part. But now in the cold and gathering your bearings, you find yourself on a mostly iced over, barely recognizable road here in Sanduuin, far from civilization.
Are we like, what are we doing? Are we sitting around a campfire? What are we doing?
So I will say this. It's
Still have it? A little bit.
What the fuck?
Austin's practicing his female voice. Go on.
Okay.
Sorry, I thought I was muted.
I needed a warning for that. That stays in the recording. Here is how we're gonna resolve the missing people. As you basically say, it's pretty late. Maybe we should start a fire. Maybe we should like kind of set up camp. Immediately, like a storm, like a snow front, just like blows in, and you start losing track of each other. I need a perception check from Adria, Zensika, and Remy.
Uh, 15.
Okay.
21.
Yeah, I forgot about Zen.
Yeah, perception is so ridiculous.
Yeah, I love it. And Remy?
Solid 10.
Okay, so I'll say, Adria, you and Zen kind of lock eyes, see one another, like know the storm is like rolling in, and like we gotta get like together immediately. Like your instincts sort of kick in. I'd say Zen, like you, Adria, really only get to see Zen before this blows in, and you're like, okay, cool, I clocked her, I know where she's at. You're close enough to see her. And the wind is blowing like hard, like you have to seek shelter. And I'd say you see Remy like start walking off Zen, and you like are able to like stop and grab her, or however you'd want to do that. But you three are the only ones in your immediate vicinity. You don't hear Bartholomew. You don't hear or see Bartholomew, Knud, or Faye.
We should go back the way we came.
Knud! Knud! She's calling for him.
Can we find them?
I'd say you probably hear in like the far distance, that shit. Knud trips over something maybe.
Is that right?
But you hear the direction that it's like that voice comes from.
Do we all hear it?
Just, I'd say Zensika with her 20 fucking gajillion perception.
She's like trying to look around, but I can't see anything. I can barely breathe.
Adria will reach down and grab both Zen and Remy's hands.
Okay, and I'll say that you would know from the immediate topography of the area, the geography of the area, you were on the road to your right. In the direction I'd say Zensika probably kind of heard Knud's, or what she assumes is Knud's voice, is the direction of like a forest that is more southern. It's a forest that's bordering like the mountains to Krissune and Sanduuin, and then north was basically just like a tundra, like field of nothing.
Over the storm, Adria will shout and be like, "We need to find shelter!"
Exactly where are we supposed to find that?
She'll tug on Zen and say, "You're a ranger!"
I'm not going anywhere without Knud.
So you're just standing there here and yelling all this, right?
Yep.
I need a Constitution save from everybody.
Son of a bitch. I'm gonna drag your asses.
Welcome to
a cave.
Sanduuin, where I've decided it's like survival rules happen.
Ooh, 6.
Not great.
17.
Pretty good.
16.
How much?
16.
Very good. Zensika, you suffer 1 point of exhaustion.
Okay. She like stumbles after she's like screamed. She's not going anywhere without Nud. She stumbles and like falls to the ground.
Okay. Adria starts. Oh fuck. What do I remember about what's around us?
You know there's a forest to one side of the road, and there is nothing to the other. Like, it's basically like you see mountains in the distance, but like it's a field of just like ice. This is a very harsh country.
Okay, I start dragging them towards the forest.
Okay. Roll me a... Is anybody resisting you?
I'm going.
Zen can't. She's down.
Okay. You're not down, you just have a disadvantage on ability checks. That's what one level of exhaustion does.
She definitely needs to be dragged away, or else she's gonna keep looking for Nud, and we know he's not here, so.
Yep. We out of game now.
The whole game is just Zen like, Nud!
What? He's been
Yeah,
your pack-
Adria will like head down, start dragging us towards the forest.
Okay. Roll me a perception check, Adria. And anybody can roll me a perception check if they'd like.
Yeah, I don't have good perception, guys, so. I want to say,
14.
look for shelter!
13,
14.
14,
12.
12. And your Zensika is with disadvantage, which I don't suspect will do much.
With disadvantage, 22.
Okay.
The good one was 36, so.
Fuck.
Good lord.
Yeah.
You can see
Yeah.
into your soul.
Expertise. I can hear how much blood per milliliter is pumping into your heart at any given
Yeah,
second.
exactly.
This is how I imagine like at the end of the session will be when like Ned just shows back up. He's been there the whole time. So I'd say Adria, actually all of you, like a 12 is like the actual DC I had for this. You smell something like not you don't see anything or hear anything, but you smell something. You smell like a fire in the forest, and as you get more and more deeper into the forest, the trees sort of start blocking a lot of this smog. You're able to see a little bit more. It goes from I can only see like 2 feet in front of me to I can start seeing 5, 10, and then like 15 before it sort of stops. So it's no longer loud. There's still a haze everywhere, but it's very like insulated and quiet.
Okay. We need to find shelter. We need to build a fire.
Yes, you've said that twice now.
She's ignoring that and like looking around, trying to see something that we can, even if it's like stray branches, we could build into a shelter.
Roll me survival.
Fuck.
Oh yeah. Welcome to hell.
14.
TPK. Natural hazards.
Yep. A 14. Is anybody else helping look for firewood? Or is anybody looking for something else?
Zen gets
Or
off
doing
her
something
ass, and the ranger in her can't help but help. So, let's see, with disadvantage, she also gets a 14 on survival.
Okay. It's a plus 14 to survival?
No, I rolled a 14.
Okay. I was like, fuck, shit, how?
Oh, she got a 24, and then my other one was 14.
Okay.
7.
7. Yeah, Remy, you're like, yep, that's a stick. It's wet. That's snow. That's a tree.
Fucking useless, Remy.
What's the point? Remy's like not like an outdoorsman. I'd say with a 14, you're like, I can't find much. Like, I could probably smart a very small, like, in the ground hole fire, but it's not going to be great. Zen, I'd say, like, not only are you like, okay, there's some wood here, but it's all wet.
Yeah.
And you see, what's your total?
My total was 14.
Okay. I'd say you see, like, spots where sticks were. So someone probably has come through here recently and taken any potential firewood. And that's why you smell like, you do smell like a fire nearby.
Are they sheltered at all right now? There's no shelter, right? They're just like in the midst of it.
Not here, no.
Are there any trees
It's
around?
not as bad. Yeah, there's you're in an evergreen forest.
Okay. Can she look for just like some kind of natural tree coverage from the storm?
Do we all smell the fire?
Yeah, you all did. You all rolled like a perception of like, I think the lowest was 12 and that was the DC for it.
We should try and find the source of that.
So you're looking for natural coverage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're in a forest. It's cold. There's no like trees that are tipped over or anything like that. It's just like a naturally standing forest. So I mean, you could, if you wanted to, try to hunker under a tree. You could try that. It's not gonna be great unless you build a shelter.
Does Liamon's take any components?
Liamon's tiny hut.
Yeah.
A small crystal bead.
Okay. This is my attempt to get rid of Zen's disadvantage. You can tell me if this works or not. She will take her bedroll out of her pack, like, wrap it up around Zensika, and, like, kneel down to her and say, okay, I need you to find the source of that fire. Can you do that?
Zen blinks at her, kind of glares at her, but then takes a breath. Yeah, I'll do my best.
I will allow you to, you still have the point of exhaustion, but I will allow you, because you're being helped, to make a straight roll.
Woo.
Or, what would this be? What skills is Asia proficient in that I feel like that she could help with this?
She's proficient in insight and investigation.
I would allow you to roll investigation with advantage. Or not advantage, straight, as opposed to disadvantage. Because to provide help, it has to be a skill you're proficient in.
What do you want me to roll for this one?
It's a straight investigation roll.
Oh, investigation? That's not going to be good for her. For
That's what Adria is proficient in.
That's a 4.
Oh my god.
Zed sneezes.
Nothing, huh? Can I try to find the source of the fire?
You certainly can.
Can I use insight for that?
I'm gonna say, let me think. No, that's like more of like trying to find out if someone's lying, or like get the body language of a person or a creature or something like that. I'd say like, you could do investigation, you could do perception, you could do survival. I don't think insight really like.
Alright, well, investigation is the highest, so 14.
A 14, you can smell the direction it's coming from. It's not far away from you. To cut through this, it has to be fairly close.
Alright. Let's try to go this way.
Curiosity, Steve.
Sorry?
Out of curiosity, tell me if this is unapplicable. Can I smell them?
Yeah, roll me perception. I think you have advantage because it's with smell.
I do. I sure do. Let's see.
So I just realized I didn't take Liamon's tiny hut. So
That's a 26.
You can
Ooh.
smell. You know, like you could smell them. Like you could tell exactly how many of them there are. I would say you could tell that they're humanoid. They're not monsters. There are 3 people coming in your direction. From the road.
I think I
Your
is my
companion
camp.
has you have a little fire. There is a small, like, kind of like hut that was made, like a tent that was put up by your companion that's with you.
From your description, is he like really busted up, or is he? Can I leave him alone?
He's like healed. He's just like
Okay.
this is what he is now, sort of a situation. Like he
Okay.
is rough. Like he's been roughed up. Like this isn't like too long ago that whatever happened to him happened, but like he's healed from it.
Okay. I'm gonna let him know that I can sense there's other people out in the snowstorm, and I will be right back. And I'm gonna try and head them off.
He reaches for a spear. You want me to go with you?
Sure, why not?
He begins to follow you. I'd say at this point, you would both come into contact with one another, stalking through the woods and the forest. So I would say, would you, Adria? We'll start with Adria. We'll go down the list of the people I have here. Adria, why don't you describe your character? What they look like, what they're wearing, what they're wielding, that sort of a thing.
Adria is probably the tallest among the 3 of us, being a human. But
By
she's
far.
yeah, by far. But she is fully decked out in full plate armor. There's a tall shield on her back. She carries an axe and has reddish brown hair that's braided down the center. And she is currently dragging 2 others.
Okay, if you would like to describe yourself there, Val.
Yeah.
In whatever form you're in.
In whatever form I'm in. Yeah, we're in like woods, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I guess what comes emerging through like the snow and woods is just like a big ass fucking wolf. Like yeah.
It's bigger than a horse.
Oh,
Yeah.
like an actual, like not a werewolf, like a wolf.
This is like a dire wolf.
A legitimate wolf.
Oh god, she like scrambles for her axe.
Primarily like red and brown fur. She probably has some sort of like modified pack on her to carry around, but beyond that, it's literally just a giant ass wolf, probably with her companion.
Do you have the sword? Are you currently wielding it or holding it, or
It's
at your side and like it's like kind of holster scabbard?
as a hexblade, I actually don't have.
That's right. You don't have.
I don't have.
That.
Yeah, it's unsummoned.
Gotcha. So just a big ass wolf. Just like comes out of the brush.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Fucking massive. Can you describe yourself, Remy?
Remy is a small halfling with like the side shaven hair all off to one side, in teal robes with over the top what looks to be some kind of patchwork pieced together, not quite fur, but just some kind of hide top leather and like tabard underneath. She definitely looks uncomfortable right now, but not shivering, just doesn't like the environment she's in.
Okay, and then Zensika.
Zen is a halfling, and she's dressed in leather, but it's like she's got browns and greens. She's like got very natural looking colors. Her hair is dark. It's braided over her shoulder. She's like a little mini Katniss Everdeen, but you'll soon learn that on the inside she's more Lydia Deetz from Beetlejuice. So yeah, but she also looks absolutely miserable. Steve, is Edgar with her? I can't remember where Edgar is right now.
He went to deliver a message,
Okay.
and he did come back, I believe.
Oh, so he's just like freezing on her shoulder or something, or
No, he's not even. He's not really freezing. He's cuddled up with you, but he's not exactly reacting.
So Edgar is her pet raven, and he's a regular sized raven, but he's quite big for her, and he tends to like sway on her shoulder a bit.
He's actually a little bit bigger now.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. And he looks like he has silver edge on his wing.
That's right. Okay.
Blade in his beak. So it looks almost like a construct to a degree. And then kind of as you guys are at a standstill staring down one another, behind the wolf, the big-ass wolf, out of the brush comes a purple dragonborn. One eye, just a ruin, missing. His left arm, his sleeve is tied in a knot and it's dangling in the wind and the breeze. Very decrepit armor. Looks very worn at this point. Krissune colors. And a spear.
Adria puts a hand on her axe but doesn't draw it.
He looks to you, Val. Friend or foe?
Would she recognize that these people are initiative folks?
I would say probably not immediately, no. You have never met these three that because unfortunately Faye could not make the session, there is no friend here.
With the perception check, can she smell Faye on them?
Oh, you rolled a 26? Yeah, you do smell your friend on them.
Okay. Yeah, she'll immediately say like they're most likely friends, and she'll call out to you guys like, travelers looking. Are you trapped?
Oh god, we've been out here longer than I thought.
I think I may have an inkling of who you are actually, but we have a fire. But you're more than welcome to come by and use it.
We'll be happy to share it. That's for sure.
There's not much shelter, but you're welcome to the fire. She looks worse for wear. He kind of points the butt of his spear to Zem. She should probably take the tent.
You want us to go with the wolf?
Yes.
The wolf.
You've not seen Stranger Things? Kind of like raises an eyebrow at you.
I want to kind of push them both forward. So we need to get out of this storm. Come on.
Turn and lead you through
The problems of my life have been Stranger Things.
I'm really imagining like Adria effectively being like Katara in the desert for like Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. Mom. There's no mom. There's no mom of this group. Especially with Knud gone. Nud is kind of the vodka uncle. Where he's like, I will let these kids fuck up and find out, but like I won't let them go too far. But now there's no vodka uncle to even prevent the too far part. So Adria seems to be stepping up.
Now you're gonna get Adria mom.
Oh fucking it's the quenchiest.
Okay. Yeah,
she'll
push them forward.
She'll try and lead them back. She noticed Zensika is pretty messed up. Like maybe she'll try and like use the size of her body to block the chill a bit.
Okay.
The wind.
I'd say that helps. You're no longer making con saves in here in the forest because it's pretty deep. But you do come upon a small camp. There are a couple like small like stacks of logs and like a rock or two to like sit on. And this purple dragonborn sits at the fire. Well, My name is Ludvar Stormwurm.
Zen, like, what? Are you related to
Lud-
Cora?
He stands up and he looks to you, Val. These are the ones that you're supposed to meet with, then.
I smell Fae on you guys, so that was my assumption. Are you Team Purple?
Yeah.
Apparently.
I was heading out to meet you guys.
We got split up in the storm. There are others out there.
Oh,
Yeah, Faye, and then someone that was traveling with me, Nud.
do we need to go look for them, or are they going to be fine on their own?
I wouldn't say they're equipped to be out here, if that's what you're asking.
You know what they say about cats, though. They have 9 lives.
I don't think that one does, with no fur.
But yeah, my name is Sabine Tiber. I'm also part of the Peace Initiative. I was a part of Faye's group. I got caught up in some personal matters, but those are done for now. And I was gonna come find you guys, but I guess you found me first.
It's lucky.
Actually, what are you guys doing out here in the snow?
That is
Question.
that is something I've been asking myself.
Yeah.
More importantly, were there those among you that were there when my sister fell?
Your sister? Your Cora's brother?
I got a message from a Mr. Knickerbocker
That's
to my
Nud.
family,
Oh shit.
letting my family know what happened to my sister. And we began to grieve, or I did at the very least, until she showed up at our doorstep.
What?
I would like to know everything that happened when she, according to Mr. Knickerbocker, fell, because something is pretending to be my sister.
Yes, you can rest assured, Mr. Stormworm, that was not your sister.
I gathered back when I had 2 arms.
However, I'm not entirely certain that we are at liberty to release that information as of right now.
You will release it, or I will release it from you.
I'm sure Zensika would be more than willing to tell you. It is his sister, after all. She kind of looks at Remy.
Yes, I've only met this man once, but he's trustworthy.
I am not stating his trustworthiness. I am merely alluding to the fact that this information may not be ours to give.
It's mine to have.
I don't
Because-
think so.
Well, is your mother, father, and sister dead and killed by whatever is masquerading as your family?
No, but my friend is
Then
trapped inside of a book.
Then shut your mouth.
During
Very
this,
rude you are.
during this, Zen's like walks over to what's his first name?
Ludvar.
Ludvar, and she just kind of like tugs a little bit on his sleeve.
He kind of like looks down at you and like seeing that you seeming like willing to talk to him, he sort of slumps a little bit. He loses some of his like anger a little bit.
I'll tell you what happened to Cora. She was my friend, and any family of hers is family of mine.
Ruby just throws her hands up at this point.
Fine,
Oh.
whatever.
You see like he starts to like in his good eye, you see like he starts to get like a tear. It starts to water a little bit.
And Zen sees that, and she starts to like tear up.
He like tries to like hug you like with like a one-arm side hug, like a weird awkward big brother hug.
And
Side hug.
just oh man, the scene.
Remember those rolls that you guys saw like after like the body got off the ship that I like was rolling in the chat, like the D100s and like the D20s like over and over again?
Yeah.
Those were death saves.
Oh my god.
Those are NPC death saves.
So Is that Bernard? Hell? I'm sorry, is that Bernard in that meme that was just posted? You know who I'm talking about, Bernard.
know.
Come on.
I don't know who
Come
that
on,
is.
guys. The Santa Claus, the hot elf.
Nope.
Oh, Bernard!
Bernard!
I know who you're talking about. It does look like
Wasn't it?
him.
I have no clue what's happening.
This guy, oh, he's so cute.
That's the hot elf.
That's the hot elf.
We have different taste.
No,
in,
he
in-
was-
I assume that's a man.
he's-
We have different taste in men.
1994 Brad Pitt was David Krumholtz.
Hmm.
Oh man,
Yeah, we have
it
different
does
taste
look
in
a
men.
lot like him. Anyway, so Zen, she tells him what she can remember because it has been a while, and also because she was distraught throughout the whole thing. But she says Cora was brave until the end, and she practically sacrificed herself to save the rest of us. But I think she kind of glances around and then she looks at her own hands. I think there's something that was in her that escaped when she died. And it's this strange metal. I don't know. It's in me too.
I've seen it, and that last bit's not good.
I know.
She or it had her memories,
That's terrifying.
able to fool our mother and father, but they were always pretty cold. Didn't take
Tell me about
much, didn't take much interest in her. Our father had a soft spot, but that was about this long, the beginning and end of that. But when I showed up home, and she was there, I knew something was off. And that's when it couldn't hide what it was anymore, and it lashed out. It killed our mother and father,
What?
and did this to me, kind of moved motions to his eye and his arm. It killed my Drake,
Well, he's trying.
tried to protect me, and it did. If it wasn't for its body lying upon me, I don't think that I would have survived.
I am so sorry, Ludvar.
Yeah.
He just kind of nods. That's not the worst of it, though, because it's still out there. I didn't react fast enough because it wore the face of my sister. But it has her memories because it went to Perlawan. I don't know if you're aware of what Perlawan is or where it is, but it's a monastery in
Oh
Krissune,
no.
and it killed
No.
many of the monks there.
Zen, sits down. She's, taking all this in, and she's just shocked.
Those who've survived did not recall Cora as she presented herself to me and my family. They recalled a beast that wore her skin. Silver and towering. If what can be believed by the survivor, as manic as he was, 10 feet tall, multiple blades coming out of arm and back, many teeth, 4 arms, rage, scales falling off
Oh.
in places. It's the only reason I know that it was it that was there. I went to Perlawan and found some of those scales. Found them. The scales that were coming off of whatever this beast is turning into. It's using her body as its host.
Your
have them?
sister's scales or something else's scales?
Hers, I imagine.
You have them?
Her
Okay.
scales? No, I buried them. They were the only part of her that was left of whatever it was, so it was the only thing I could bury.
Remy will
That's
be
what I did.
furiously taking notes.
And so I've been hunting it. Because it's my responsibility. Because I'm her big brother.
Oh. Hmm.
And if I can find, if there's enough of her left in there, then maybe. But if not, then the alternative. And I met Miss Val here, coming down the pass. I tracked it northward before I lost the trail.
That is upsetting.
It is. I unfortunately lost it at the actual chasm, which does not bode well.
It went in the chasm?
I don't know if it went in the chasm, but that's where the trail ended. I suspect it's smarter than a typical beast. I think it knew I was tracking it, and it knew where to lose me.
The chasm would be the place.
Or perhaps it knows where to find a stronger host. This doesn't bode well.
It doesn't. But in my state, there's not much more I can do other than track it, and ultimately, and painfully I'm aware, I will inevitably fall to it. So I've decided to come here, and I'm trying to get to Glow Hollow now, because I hear there are artificers there that might be able to replace what I've lost, and at least give me a chance.
If it's nearby, obviously I'm an outsider to this situation, but I would gladly help you finish your business. You were kind to me when we met, and you spoke highly of your sister. And I would gladly help you finish this.
I appreciate that, but it's not something I can ask you to do.
I understand.
But regardless, right now, I don't know that I'm equipped to handle it, and so that's why I seek to go to Glow Hollow. But we are a bit far away from it, so I plan to stop in Kartang first. Another monastery. Potentially warn them. I don't know if monasteries are the targets, or if it was simply it lashing out at her memories.
Do you think it's close enough that you could track it and lead us to it? Perhaps we could take care of it.
That was weeks ago, so probably not. I lost its trail at the chasm, where Sanduuin and Krissune's border meets.
I'm not sure, she kind of glances at Zen, that this is the best group to go after your sister, though I do sympathize.
I wouldn't ask anyone to do this. This is something that I have to do.
Sabine's gonna, the fire's probably turning a little bit into coals by now. She's gonna, just while this conversation is talking, cast Entangle to create fuel. And
I'll allow that.
Just like breathes fire on it to restoke the campsite.
A wolf that breathes fire, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. Yeah, you guys have some interesting characters. You guys will get to know each other.
Her mouth does glow red constantly.
It's pretty fucking awesome.
There's a thing. There's a whole thing.
Okay, Adria is keeping a very close eye on Zen. And she kind of changes the subject and says, you wouldn't happen to be able to smell the others of our group out there, would you?
I do have a really good sense of smell. I don't know what they smell like. I could give it a try if you have something of theirs. I could get a sense for the scent.
Zen pulls out her bag of holding, and she just starts like sifting through it. She pulls out an old, used, very, very much used joint.
Joint? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Fantasy weed.
Green hat, right?
Called green.
Green hat, yeah.
Yeah. Something. It's a hat. It's a halfling thing that Felis
love that.
took up.
She hands it over to Sabine. I don't know if this will help.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it'll help.
She kind of like recoils a bit from the smell. It's like, okay, I'm assuming one of your members smells a lot like this.
Yeah.
A lot like that.
Okay. I'm gonna step away a bit from that so it doesn't muck everything up.
Sorry, she puts it back in her bag.
She'll probably lumber like 40 or 50 feet away from the campsite, and try her best to take a whiff in this snowstorm.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
Okay. That's a 20. Not natural.
If there is the smell of this, it's nowhere near you.
Okay.
You can't smell this particular, and it's strong. You smell it coming from like wherever she put it back. You smell that, you can pinpoint that. But like if there's a person who smells like this or something else that smells like this nearby, like you can't sense it.
Okay. Yeah, she'll come back to the campsite and be like, I'm sorry. Maybe it's the wind. I don't smell anything.
She looks disappointed, but
We could always look for them once this snowstorm dies down.
it's okay. He'll probably find us. He's really good at that sort of thing.
Speaking of which, is Zensika still making Constitution saving throws? Do they look cold?
No, once they got out, I only made that happen when they were out of the tree line. Just like when she was standing out there in the cold and refusing to leave, that's when I was like, "You're in the storm." Like there's like you're in the trees, and the trees are like breaking that like kind of storm. It's still hazy and everything like that, and it's all the sound is muffled as the storm kind of passes over the trees, but it's not really like running through this forest. It's pretty dense.
Got it.
Can I kind of like make sure everyone is like eating a ration or something?
Sure, you do that. Is everyone eating a ration or something?
Yeah.
No.
You don't eat.
Yes, Zen definitely is.
So, I guess catch me up to speed. I know that I'm joining your group. Is there anything in particular we can talk about in front of Ludvar here? Catch me up to speed.
I would say we picked the wrong direction to go, and probably turn around.
You think?
The closest settlement is Kartang.
Yes, well, we trusted a certain someone in our group to lead us down a good path, and that didn't go well.
Are they not a local? Do you not have a map?
I would ask him those things, but he's not here.
Ah,
Yeah, the weed smelling one.
Yes. Enjoyable to talk to, though.
He's a bard.
I'm sure.
And Zen starts kind of twirling her braid a little bit, and it's like very unconscious, but it's clear that she very much enjoys talking about him.
I am vaguely aware of Mr. Knickerbocker, and he kind of like raises an eyebrow to Zen and then looks to the rest of you, and I'm also very aware of his age. Surprise someone like that is adventuring.
He's not that old.
How old is he?
I don't know. I never asked. He can't be that old. And then she starts to look worried.
Well, tell me a little about him, Zensika.
Well, he's really funny and really smart, and he always says cleverest things. And he has tattoos all over. He's really brave. She goes on and on.
What's your passive perception, Sabine?
Let's see. It's something nonsensical. Let me check real quick.
What's your perception?
My perception is +7,
So
but I
your
also have
passive is 17.
observant. Observant
Oh,
gives me +5.
so yeah,
so I have
+5. So yeah,
20.
it's like yeah. So we got two of
22,
these. We got two
yeah.
of these. So Zensika doesn't see this. It's behind Zensika, and she's gushing. But you see,
Uh-huh.
like Ludvar mouth, like basically like the words, "That's not what my sister wrote about him."
Uh-oh.
Also right.
Sounds like a very noble person.
Oh, he is. He's wonderful, and honestly, he's the only one left from the original group that I was in. And she gets a little bit more reserved. She looks around. See, Remy was always with us, but not really in this form.
Go on.
Remy, why don't you tell more?
There's not much to tell. I wasn't here, and now I am.
Yep. That's right. We used to have someone named Kaius with us, and Kaius is always talking about Remy, and we just thought maybe Remy was his imaginary friend because Kaius was kind of let's just say he was a little crazy.
See, Ludvar looks a little bit confused at that.
And we pretty much lost both Kaius and Cora at the same time.
Oh,
I'm sorry for your loss. I can't say Was he someone that joined you after the initiative? My sister never wrote anything about a Kaius.
No, he was always a part of the original initiative. He just got on my nerves.
Curious, my sister would not have.
Yeah, it's weird because he was madly in love with her.
Maybe that's why she didn't mention him.
See Remy gets slightly mad at that.
I'm aware of Miss Remy. She was written about. My sister. An odd wizard and not much more.
Oh yes, you must be under the effects as well.
What's going on?
Sorry?
No one seems to remember Kaius. Everyone seems to remember me, even though I was not here. Kaius was here, but I have taken his place in everyone's memories. It's a very odd thing.
But I remember Kaius.
Wizards.
Does Sabine just not know? Did she just not register the Kaius thing?
I don't think you know or have ever heard of anybody named Kaius.
Okay, so she can know that he was around because she never.
You hear the name, but like you've never met him to have like anything contradicted about it. You're only hearing like I've never like from one person you're like there's never been a person named Kaius that I've heard of, and then these people are like he was here.
Mm-hmm.
And in essence, he is still here. He is just in a different form, and Remy will look at her book. And then continue to take notes.
Sabine cocks her head and takes a look at the book. Just look like. So that's a person. Yeah?
I try not to ask.
I could attempt to explain the intricacies of the situation, but for brevity's sake, yes. This is Kaius.
I mean,
for now.
Well, that, as weird as that sounds like a better deal than what our group experienced. We also lost 2 people, but I'm not entirely sure if the other one's alive.
I'm sorry. I know what that's like.
Yeah. Honestly, if I'm being real with you guys, I kind of feel like I'm at fault for partially both of those.
Blame is a
But
dangerous game to play, my friend.
that's true.
Also an unhelpful one.
And anyways, though, so you were heading to Glue Hollow?
Yes, we need to speak to my master.
Okay. And who would that be?
I gotta pull up Kaius' sheet.
That'd be Master Rayul.
Master Rayul. We've been having him look into these issues, or at least Kaius was. Hopefully he's started on the project, although knowing him, he's put it off in some corner somewhere.
So he's the intellectual type, I'm assuming?
Yes. Let's go with that.
Do you think he'd know anything about curses?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Are you
Although,
cursed?
In a sense, I don't consider it a curse for myself. It's who I am, and I would hate to lose it. But yes, my family is cursed.
Oh,
Mm. Uh, how do I even explain it? It's probably better to show, not tell, and she'll kind of like not animorph because that's a little creepy, but she will magically transform from a big giant wolf into um, a youngish furbolg girl in her like early 20s.
oh,
Um,
Animorphs.
my family is kind of cursed to have our druidic abilities a little backwards. Almost everybody's natural form is an animal rather than a furbolg. And some people have been becoming animal enough that they lose themselves.
oh.
So I guess I'm the one sent out to the world to find a fix. I figured joining the peace initiative would be the best way to do that.
Hmm. Very interesting.
For me personally, I grew up with it, and she'll turn back into a wolf, and I'm doing it for my family.
Well, I do know a thing or two about trying to appease family.
I hear you. It can be a burden sometimes, but it's also a blessing.
I don't know what you're talking about. My family was very proud of my studies.
Wow,
You've
that's good.
you've never had some like interfamily drama? Things getting on your nerves?
Well, I'm an only child.
Somebody stealing your dinner? Taking your hunt away from you?
I know that feeling so well.
It would seem that familial distress is a common factor amongst adventurers.
I had to get out of
I
there.
wonder if this has been studied before.
If not, they should. I had to get out of there. I was feeling so stifled at home.
Oh,
I love that
really?
there's no one here to dispute this.
I know, I'm so mad I
I'm
can't argue that.
I'm sitting here seething.
Family
It's just
troubles?
Zen over here arguing about her perfect
My
home.
parents are just always on top of me, just telling me how they want me to be their perfect daughter, and they just won't let me be me.
Where
That
her
sounds
parents love her
horrible.
so much.
To be fair to them, I've met you, and, well, they were probably right.
You're just as bad as Kaius.
He was probably right, too.
High expectations, huh? Ones that maybe you can't ever achieve.
Exactly. At least someone gets it.
Oh, I understand.
Have you experienced something similar, Adria?
Oh, my story is rather a boring one. I'd much rather listen to all of yours.
I mean, I can't say mine's too interesting. I spent nearly 20 years. The funnest thing I could do was hunt rabbits and eat them.
That sounds riveting.
It was fun for the first part of my teenage years, but it got pretty old after that.
I'm assuming you lived in a pack.
I did. Honestly, full disclosure, since we're likely going to be traveling together, I'm a little better at it now. I know how money works. I know that stealing is a thing and you're not supposed to do that. But I sometimes miss the social cues of the civilized world. I haven't been around for long.
Oh, don't worry. Kaius was way worse than that.
I'm sure
You
we'll
keep-
make.
Go ahead.
I'm sure we'll make do.
I'm
Oh,
sure
that's good
Caius
to
wasn't
hear.
nearly as bad as you say
And he didn't really have any excuse either. He was just crazy.
I'd say he had much more of an excuse than you realize.
The only time Kaius made any sense was when we were all high.
Yes, well, you try having an interdimensional being messing with
I
your
thought
brain.
you hated Kaius too.
See how well you'll fell after. Far from it.
Love him?
He was my best friend.
Are you in
No!
love with him?
I'm going to go look for more firewood.
No, you shouldn't go out in the storm.
I wouldn't do that.
I wish Cora was here.
Oh,
Me too.
Sorry, kid.
yeah. Sounded like they had a good life, though. From
They
the
did.
brief descriptions you've given of her while traveling with you.
She was a good person, but she didn't have an easy life.
Didn't seem like it. She didn't tell us a lot about her past.
To be honest, there's a reason that beast came back and killed who it killed. I don't weep for my parents, and that's where I'll stop with that explanation. But the people of Perlawon were innocent. That's how I know it's not her. That's when I realized it wasn't her anymore.
Well, seriously, Ludvar, we've really only have met once or twice, but if you ever need help with this, I don't know. I just don't want you to. You seem like a good enough person that it would be a waste of a life for you to go on a suicide mission.
He
If you don't
laughs.
feel like.
I appreciate that, but my life is sort of ending anyway. I'm no longer part of the Krissune military. I no longer have a Drake or a family. I have a mission. And after that, well, nothing.
This guy's definitely older than me, right?
He's old. He's not like old. Like he's. How old was Cora? Like early.
She
20s?
was like, yeah, early 20s.
I'd say he's like kind of later 20s. Maybe early 30s.
Ludvar, you are going through a lot of hardship right now, and you've experienced more of the world than me, but as somebody who is also consumed with a quest that is maybe more important than the person doing it, there's going to be a point when we're done with it. I don't know.
That's the part of this that I am most afraid of. Isn't dying doing the job, it's doing the job and what comes after, but I'll figure it out.
I think in whatever form life takes, I'm sure you will find something afterward.
I appreciate that. We'll see.
It's pretty late in the night, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Sabine.
What the fuck?
Oh, the meme.
Yeah. What the
I'm
fuck
not
is
sorry.
that? You should
It's a
be.
baby.
Oh my god.
It's-
How did you even
It's
find
just-
that?
I just searched for weird.
They're just letting their little cosmic horror self
Yeah.
come out.
It's beautiful if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's what all
not.
cats are.
I'm
Oh,
so
there's-
some good
Sorry,
ones
go on.
here.
Very good.
Like this gem.
no.
Oh, Jesus! What is
my
that?
god, that one.
Gonna have to zoom in on that. Oh my god.
Don't zoom in.
Jeez.
I was going to send this one. I don't know what that is. It looks like
Oh,
Why is that like a?
it's
Why
a
is that like
banana.
a? That looks like a Power
it kind
Ranger
of
bad
does,
guy.
yeah.
Little
Like
bit.
an OG Power
Like a
Ranger
banana
bad guy.
pencil thing. I don't know.
Sabine's gonna exclaim, oh, I was meaning to ask you all, how has Faye been? Has she opened up at all?
Seems kind.
Really quiet. She hasn't said much.
Sounds like about the status quo then. I was just curious how she was doing. She was kind of alone for a second there. As long as she's doing well.
She seems to be. Though, hopefully you'll be able to ask for yourself if we find them soon.
Speaking of which, it's pretty late in the night. I think I might try and rest up so that we can head out once this snowstorm ends.
Yes, I recommend we do a watch. I'll take first one.
I can take the second.
You can watch all night
Cool.
if you wish.
Do you not require rest?
Not anymore, no.
Kind of
Oh.
looks to you, Adria, as Remy says that.
I can't remember. Do I know that Remy caused the issues with the ship?
I don't remember either. Tell me.
I feel like I do.
I don't think Remy told anyone. The only one that knows was the
I know,
Yeah.
but I remember you guys walked into the power room and then the ship fucking combusted.
Roll an insight check then. We'll see if you can infer. I'll say
Alright.
you won't know, but you could like suspect if you like roll high enough insight.
Alright. 13?
You suspect, but you have no like real proof, so it's your call and if you'd want to like confront Remy about your suspicions, but you have nothing to prove anything yet.
She'll meet the Dragonborn's eye and say, I'm sure it'd be good to have two of us watching.
Fine, do what you want. I'm up either way.
Then I'll take second.
Take third.
And then Miss Remy can take the last one then.
Sure.
I think this one needs to sleep. Kind of pats Zen. I imagine Zen's kind of like
Yes, she
zonking out.
is. She's like, what? What are we
Aw.
talking about?
I'll point to the tent.
And she does not argue. She just goes right to it.
Oh my god, this is the first time she hasn't argued. Okay, I'll take first watch.
All right, roll me a perception check. Remy, roll me a perception check if you're perceiving.
Oh god, I hope Remy is perceiving. That's
it's
a
actually
5.
this is a nat 20
Nice.
on
Good.
a frickin' perception check.
Okay, I'll say there's not really much movement at all in this forest, which is strange. Adria, you're like, everything is muffled. Maybe you like a 5, you said? Fuck, that's bad.
Yeah. Shut up.
You start drifting off a little bit.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's been a long day. You start dozing a little bit, not paying too much attention. Remy, it's dead quiet. And this is a forest, even in a snowstorm, like, stuff should be hunkered down, but it's fairly insulated. The storm isn't as bad as it was earlier. It's more clear, but you should still hear something or see something, like, wildlife-wise. There's, like, nothing. It's fairly dead here.
Like,
But no,
oddly dead?
I would say you're from Sanduuin. So I'd say to most people it would be odd, but you're aware, I would say, that like the creatures that live in Sanduuin, like Sanduuin's a harsh country, harsh part of the continent. The creatures that do survive here aren't unintelligent beasts. They're typically more cunning than average. So if things are hiding or not out, there's a reason. It could be the storm, it could be something else. It to you doesn't feel unnatural given the circumstances.
Okay. Knowing that thing has been through here, though, she'll kind of like close her book and spend the rest of the night. The thing that he talked about.
No, it hasn't been through this section. Like it's not been here. The crevice is like somewhere else. He's saying he is going this way to get to someone who can help him go hunt that thing.
I see. Okay. Well, then she'll just keep, like, writing in her book and glancing up every now and again.
Yeah, nothing. Your shift passes without much. I'd say, Adria, you kind of wake up with a start as Ludvar kind of nudges you. He kind of like gives you a look. Like, say it's a hard to read look, but he gives you a look. He begins his watch.
All right, I'll just go back to sleep.
He's judging you so hard. And he sits there silently and looks out. He doesn't see anything either, but he's very tense.
I'd say Sabine probably wakes up on her own.
Okay, you would swap out then with him.
Probably tends to the fire again to make sure it doesn't go out. Since that's like the only source of warmth right now.
Yep. You can roll me a perception check as well.
I think she'll do it through sight.
Okay.
Not smell. Uh-oh. Funny's not working really well. I will roll into chat. It was exclamation roll, right?
Yep, exclamation point
It's-
roll, a space.
Isn't it
and then-
backslash now?
It's not, it's still exclamation point. Exclamation point roll, space, 1d20 plus, yeah, there you go, 21.
He
21,
got
uses
a
a
nat-
different.
I'm
Not
special.
Oh.
What's 9 plus 10? 21? Man, you stupid. Yeah, you get the same vibe. It's weirdly quiet. I'm gonna just let Remy's carry over.
That's great.
It's the storm sort of subsides, but wildlife really doesn't start coming out. I'd say with a 21 and with your previous perception checks, you don't smell anything. It's almost like nothing lives in this forest.
That's like concerning to Sabine. She keeps watch, but she's a little spooked by that.
But it comes to an uneventful end. And Remy takes the last watch alone. And again with that 20, the storm is fully subsided. You can see the clear, cold night sky. Still no wildlife here. Before day begins to break, and you guys have your long rest. And a new day.
Big stretch. Big morning
Yeah.
stretch. Adria is currently working on carving her spells into her axe for the day.
Oh. So these other party members of yours, would protocol be to just continue to where you were going and meet there, or?
No, we were kind of in the middle of deciding where to go, if we're being honest.
I see.
It would be best if we go out and try to find them. I'd say with your sense of smell, you'd probably have better luck than us, but Zensika also has a very keen eye. Perhaps she can help.
Could work together.
And you no longer have that point of exhaustion, Zensika.
And she is currently meditating.
Oh.
I'll say during all this, you see Ludvar is like getting some sort of a semblance of breakfast like going. And in the snow in front of you, Sabine, you see a small spark. And then like a fuse kind of like moving. forms a small rectangle. You smell it before anybody else does. It's like a sulfuric smell, like a unnatural fire, like a chemical sort of fire. And once it ends, you see a small piece of paper laying at your feet with your name on it in fancy but familiar handwriting.
She'll shift into her furball form briefly to pick it up.
You open it, and I will send you what it says inside. It doesn't say what it says in the brackets. That's just a reminder of what this is. From what you asked for.
That's not too far from here, right? That's where...
Correct.
Okay.
It's the capital of this country.
Sabine definitely takes a big sigh and then just...
Bad news?
No, it's good news. Honestly, the best news I've had in a while. It's just a reminder. Yeah. I kind of lost a patron recently that I'm not gonna lie, a little salty about. And my new patron is a lot nicer and a lot in working towards my goals, but it's still a little still a little fresh all the same.
What do you mean by patron?
I guess as far as I can remember, I have had a partnership. For a long time, it was this sword that I had ever since I was a kid, and honestly, I thought we were they provided me with magic and kind of bolstered my own druidic ways. But turns out they didn't give a shit about me. And there just so happened to be somebody of similar caliber who partnered up with me next. So I guess
No, go ahead.
I don't know what I was gonna say. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just gonna say, Zensika, you're not unfamiliar with the term patrons because of your country. You are aware of warlocks due to the patrols or fists of warlocks that have patrolled Elgrest your entire life. They're typically a team of 5 warlocks, and you know that your country has approved patrons.
Okay, so because Hana doesn't know that and Zen does, Zen goes, "Oh, sorry, I guess I was thinking something else. That makes sense."
Yeah.
If you'd like to know more, Zensika, about that, you could roll Arcana, and I could tell you if you know any of the specifics about warlocks, or you could just play it however you feel like.
Okay.
Zensika would know about it.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it was good news. My new patron kind of as a act of goodwill gave me the location of somebody who's an expert in curses. That was what was on the paper. They're in Glow Hollow.
Wow. Patrons are tricky things. Be careful with that.
Yeah.
Trust me, even if this one seems amiable, they want something out of you. They always do.
This one is very amiable, and it's a complete 180 from my original patron, and it's a little unsettling. I'm not gonna lie.
I would be even more cautious then.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with Remy. Seen many a soldier down at the rift swear themselves to some powerful being in hopes to gain some mighty power and wipe out the demon population. Never tends to go well for them.
Honestly, I don't. Well, I care about the power, but I don't really care what I have to do in order to see my family free. I mean, I guess to certain extents, I wouldn't become a soulless killer.
I'm glad you clarified there.
I have to work with unsavory types. I'm a little more willing to do it. At least until this is done. He seemed nice, though. But your advice to be wary of that is much appreciated.
I wish you luck there.
I'm trying not to be, but I recognize that I'm definitely still a little gullible.
Honestly, I admire your innocence in some ways.
Really?
Yeah.
It's been fun. I got to eat a cake for the first time a couple months ago, but I'll be honest, it's been mostly a thorn in my side. I have made a lot of mistakes. I've gotten better, but they would not have been mistakes I'd made if I maybe were somebody more like you.
You don't know anything about me.
That's fair. You seem to insinuate, though, that you're you're not gullible, I guess.
If you were more like her, you would just make different kinds of mistakes.
He's right there. My mistakes have been costly.
It seems to be a common theme from the Peace Initiative members.
You all play a high-stakes game.
Well, let's find your friends, shall we?
Yes, I'm sure Zensika will be much happier when Nud's around, right?
I mean, I just hope he's okay. She's trying not to look too excited.
I mean, you've really hyped this person up. I'm interested to meet them.
Oh, they're characters, that's for sure.
Well, Kartang is closest. But if they were headed to Glow Hollow, perhaps we should beeline it there.
Well, we had realized our mistake in coming out here when we stopped, and we're trying to figure out what to do next. Just before we got separated, I was planning to discuss bringing up going back, but I'm not sure which direction they went, honestly. I don't know that they would even know how to get to Glow Hollow. That's where we thought we were on our way to.
Well, it's possible they went up north to Godot.
Perhaps we can go back to the road, and you can see if you can catch their scent there. I'll look at the wolf.
That works for me.
Right. Say it's not difficult to get out. There is a lot of snow, but it's not difficult to get out there. And you do eventually get to the road, as much as you eventually see it the wind blows off this kind of like light dusting of snow off of it, like some of the bricks. That's the only reason you know that there is a road there. After the heavy snow and the snowstorm, it doesn't look like it's going to clear up much.
Well, this is where we were.
Well, I'll give it another shot. See if I can catch that particular scent.
This will be a disadvantage.
Okay. Would it be a straight roll with advantage, or still disadvantage?
This would just be at like disadvantage due to time
Okay.
and like the storm and whatnot.
Good to know. 13.
If there were people, like, you can't even smell the people you're with whose sense you now know. You can't even smell them having been in this area. So it's hard to tell if you came out in the same spot, or if it's been too long, or if the storm just completely covered everything and dampened everything, but you have no way of knowing.
I'm sorry. With storms like these, or really with any like wet weather, the smell palette gets wiped clean usually. I'm not sensing anything.
It's all right. Remy, do you have a way to send them a message, perhaps?
I need to look. Nope.
What kind of wizard
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah, she'll.
So helpful.
No, sorry, I'm afraid it's not in my repertoire.
Highly unhelpful. I don't know. Suppose anyone else can send a message magically.
Can you not?
Nope.
Not very helpful.
I have Edgar.
See how that feels?
Yes, use Edgar. Not sure how you use Edgar, but
I mean, that is actually not a bad idea. You could potentially send it to any number of the settlements with a note to the guardhouse, keeping an eye out for your friends that they were missing.
can you see through him? Can you scour the area?
No.
Well then, yeah, the note would probably be the best bet.
I could talk to him, but he has to be here.
You can talk to
Just
animals too.
Edgar.
Oh. I'm gonna ask Edgar how he's doing.
He kind of looks at you, cocks his head. Cold! Flutters and like kind of does that thing where he lifts a wing up and like nuzzles underneath the wing.
Oh.
Looks back at you.
I mean, I'm very fluffy. You can hang out in my fur if you want. Not to take you away from Zensika.
No thanks.
All right, I have a suggestion then. Why don't you have Edgar bring a note to Glow Hollow, and we will go back to the nearest town, telling them that's where we went, in case they decided to go to Glow Hollow.
Sounds good. She pulls out some parchment and writes a note. And who is it to?
Probably Knud would be the best one. He would be one of the more recognized, I imagine.
I mean, I would imagine that you'd want to address it to just simply Glow Hollow, so someone will open it and read it and keep an eye out for your friends. Your friends may not think to look for a note or a letter.
That's true. Maybe at the guardhouse specifically?
He kind of nods. That's what I would do. Worst case is they keep a lookout for your friends and they don't see them. Best case is they see them and pass along your note.
To the guardhouse, then.
writing a note.
Okay, what are you guys doing next?
Heading back to the closest town.
Yeah.
Okay, you have
Forget
A
the
couple-
name of it.
a couple options. So you can go back the way you came
Yes.
to Hraustrow. You could go towards Kartang. You could go up towards Godul. But the way to Glow Hollow would be back to Hraustrow, which you guys didn't really like. Just very briefly passed through. But you would have to go up north from Hraustrow to the road to Glow Hollow, if that's where you are trying to head to Glow Hollow.
I mean, I suggest we go back to where we came from. What does everyone else think?
I mean, I'm incentivized to go to Glow Hollow because there's apparently somebody there that I need to meet, but as the new addition to the group, I don't want to sway the group decision if I'm in the minority.
I think it sounds fine.
I wish you all the best of luck then. Seems like this is where we part ways.
Yes, I think you're going to need all the luck you can get, my friend.
Another arm would be preferable. But that's why I'm going to Glow Hollow. Perhaps I'll see you there when I do eventually arrive. But I have to warn those at Kartang first.
Okay.
Good luck.
Well, be safe.
You as well. If you do need me, if you can find a way to call upon me, I'll answer if I can.
She'll give him a meat stick. This is a little homemade present.
Thank you.
You can take it with you.
I appreciate it. Kind of bows his head a little bit. Thank you for being friends with my sister. He kind of looks to you.
She reaches out for him as just like a gesture of camaraderie.
Yeah, he predator handshakes.
I hope to see you soon. Good luck to you too.
Good luck. He turns and begins trudging off, using his spear as a sort of walking stick. A limp in his gait.
Poor bastard.
Poor guy.
He did not roll well on his death saves, but he didn't. He passed him.
He lived!
He did live. No one else did.
Aw.
Yeah.
So Zen wrote the note, and Steve, I sent it to you. Okay, so she sends that off with Edgar.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Where did you guys come from?
What was the name of the city?
Hraustrow.
Hraustrow.
Would we need to go to Hraustrow anyways to get the Glow Hollow? Like, if that's where people decide to go because of the river?
You could
I think so.
potentially get passage from Godul there via like a boat, but it's sort of kind of like either way it's sort of a wash. There's really like not really any benefit to going one way or the other.
The ultimate goal is Glow Hollow, though.
Correct.
What did you say?
The ultimate goal is Glow Hollow. Just want to see if back at this town first.
Steve, that messaging business where they fly messages around on brooms, do they also have like literal like wizards who can send messages?
They do, yes. They can typically do that. It's just more expensive. And it's only like a 25-word thing, and you have to give them like a super accurate description of like the person they're sending it to, because they have to have like seen or known them or something like that.
Well, if we're close to Hraustrow, we could double back there and maybe pay somebody to get in contact with party members, see what they're doing.
Sure. Well, shall we?
Yeah. It's for me.
It's the wand service is what it's called, which is attentive and nimble delivery. Fast, cheap, or high quality, you can pick any two. That's their motto.
Funny.
I love them.
And you could hire a black broom, which is someone who is like kind of like one of their elite kind of flyers or couriers. They're like the faster.
Would they have like magical means of like literally the spell message?
Again, they do have that. It's expensive, and there's no guarantee it works. It's not typically done.
I see.
Because
I
like
see.
they would have to know the person you're speaking about to do it like super accurately. They'd be like, yeah, I can just send them a message, no problem, and it's like a 25-word count.
Okay.
So it's typically not worth the price of it. But some people do it or attempt it. If it's dire.
Right. Cool. I guess we're going to Hraustrow then.
Okay.
Here we go.
Say, from your current position, you guys were basically a couple days out, so it would take you like another day or two back to Hraustrow. But we don't have to do. I'll say like I've already rolled on the table, the encounter table. There's nothing in between you and Hraustrow in that direction, since that's the direction you chose to go.
Cool.
Pray for my boy Ludvar though.
Oh yeah, he's totally dead.
I mean,
oh no!
I rolled on the encounter table like for all three directions. I mean, then again, you could have decided to do a fourth wacky thing that I would not have seen coming, which can happen and has happened. But
Okay. I guess if we arrive in Hraustrow, since I know the place, I've been there for a few months. I've begun the land. I lead everybody to that business. Full wolf form, by the way. She doesn't take her verbal form.
you're
when
well
entering
known enough
the
in
city.
you're well known enough in the city now that people like recognize you as the wolf.
Yeah.
I was just saying you're just gonna walk around.
I'll say that you got a nickname too. You got the nickname the Crimson Wolf or the Scarlet Wolf, whichever you'd like better.
Ooh.
I like the Scarlet Wolf. That's pretty cool.
Not because of the color of your fur, but because of the color you leave the battlefield looking like.
That's pretty rad.
I mean, you've spent like a month fighting in like the arena.
Out of curiosity,
had to walk away.
You had mentioned the potential of her acting people during that like whole thing. Did that ever happen?
Did what happen? You cut out.
Oh, you had mentioned like right when I was that like there was a high potential for her to continue accidentally killing like during the fights.
Accidentally killing what? You still are cut. Is it just me? Did you?
No, it's
okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
He was asking. She said though you said there was a potential that she could accidentally kill people in the fights.
Oh yeah, I think you rolled well enough previously that like there weren't like you didn't kill any people, and the people that like did, even if they did die, you were aware of the rule that like
Got it.
they got to come back for free once.
Okay.
Like they had healers that would bring them back for free, and anytime after that, like they would owe them money. Or well, they all had a debt. They all incurred a debt from like being revived, but like they could just pay it off.
Mm.
It was a you know, if you died, the cost to revive you was like tacked on to like you were given like an invoice, and you could pay it off however you wanted, but that's how the scheme works.
Got it. Yeah. Even though like it's not normally done, I think Sabine, she'd be willing to spend the pretty dollar to at least see if another point of contact could be made beyond the crow.
Yeah, at Wand.
Yeah, at Wand.
Okay, so you'd go there. They would ask you, okay, do you have a description? Picture? Portrait?
Do you guys have anything like that?
What do you need a description?
If I'm going to contact someone magically, yes. I mean, we could send a letter to a place, or
Do I use minor illusion?
You could use minor illusion to assist. Yeah.
Okay, I'll conjure an image of just like pictures of both of them.
And which one are we sending a message to? One or both?
The cat.
Okay, 75 gold for a message. 25 words. 3 gold per word.
Any discount for your local? God, what's the word? Local entertainer.
Nope.
You
can roll me a persuasion. This old woman behind the counter.
Let's roll 20s, fully kick the bucket. Rolling chat. It's a natural one.
Natural one.
Yeah.
I've never heard of you.
Of course. I could pitch in 45 gold to that.
Fast, cheap, or high quality? You're getting fast because it's instant and high quality. So it ain't cheap.
Let's go fast and cheap.
Okay, so you're gonna write a letter, or what do you want it sent?
With Edgar, you guys.
And what are you doing here?
I don't know.
If we don't want to do this, that's totally fine. I just figured it was an option.
I mean,
I would say
think it's a good idea.
We should do fast and cheap, since Edgar is not necessarily fast, but his message will arrive and it will be high quality.
High quality
No,
and cheap.
fast and cheap. Yeah, my
you just said
bird
high
will be
quality.
High quality. And
but he's not fast, so he's probably cheap because he's your bird, and high quality because he's gonna
cheap.
get there.
God damn.
He's free.
Exactly. I would
He's
call
your
that
bird.
cheap. I'd say that's a good deal.
Oh my goodness, I'm not, girl. Leave, please leave.
You're
not buying something. Leave. You exhaust me.
I have a total of 60 gold, so I could contribute most of my money to it, but
Whose sassy child is that?
Oh!
You? She points to you, Atria.
I would say, believe it or not, that's a halfling and an adventurer. Anyways, I can contribute 10 gold.
She adjusts her glasses. I'm aware she's a halfling. She's still a child.
Yes, I agree with that, Beth.
Listen, I don't know. I don't know who you're with. I don't know if your husband is a halfling man.
I can contribute 10 gold. She looks at the wolf.
Judgy.
That's great. DM, did I earn any money during all of those bouts, or did they really just go off to paying the debt?
I'll say that you would have gotten. Let's give you like 150.
Cool. I will supply the 65 needed.
It's 75.
I know, I'm giving 10.
Okay. Then yeah, she takes it. Okay, 25 words. You want to take some time to write them down? This weird bald cat man.
I mean, Zen has a really good relationship with him, right?
She does. And I'm sure she'd be the one. She'll go to the door. Zen!
What?
Yeah, we paid for 25 words. So what 25 words would you like to tell Kai? Oh, no. Nud.
Dear Nud. We don't need dear. Nud. I already sent you a message. But this is a quicker message. How many words is that? 1, 2.
Yes, no one alter this. Let this happen.
Tell him where
Where
we're
are
at,
we?
please.
This is Strauss.
Strau?
That.
Frau
Yeah.
Strau?
Oh my god.
Could you please spell that for her?
Just imagine if this was like how it was being sent. Like, this is just what he's getting. Just all this arguing, and then it just cuts off mid fucking sentence.
This like old woman's like leaning across like the table,
We're
like
good.
gripping the counter. Like she's about to lose it.
That's 75 gold, I respect.
I just like playing an old woman. It's like my favorite voice to do. I do an old man, but I always do like a very like he's not all there old man.
Not quite.
You got that
Spell the
message
place
then?
for me.
Back in my day.
HRAU STRAU.
Is that 2 words?
It is 1 word.
Oh, good.
It is fucking Finnish for something. I'll pull up my list to see what it is. I don't remember off the top of my head.
What else do you want me to tell him, you guys?
I beat you to that.
I know, but I got the little fucking crazy dancing one.
Oh.
That's very appropriate. I've got 14 words. What else do we need to say? Nud, we're currently in House Drought. I sent Edgar with a message to Glow Hollow.
Tell us where you are, if possible.
We want to say, like, and we'll come to you?
Or we can say we'll be here for, like, a certain amount of days.
It's a good... How far is Glow Hollow from Harastro, Steve?
Like about a week and a half. 2
Okay.
week, like, kind of like journey. Weather depending.
Yeah, we can do that if we think they're able to travel back here.
Is there enough,
So we've got...
let's see how many words we have
Nud,
left
we
after
are in
this.
House Drow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I sent Edgar with a message to Glow Hollow. It's 12. Tell us where you are. 17. We'll be here for 3 days. It's 23. 2 more words.
Love you.
Love Zen.
Love Zen. There you go.
Okay, that's
Okay.
the message.
I love that.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna send this to Norm.
Honestly, that's a really good idea because this is coming from.
Yeah, this is
He's
an
gonna be
actual
like, "What the
message.
fuck?"
Yeah.
Oh, I want to change it to love you.
You should have.
I'll change
And
it to
then
love
it'll
you.
be like she meant to put love Zen and accidentally put love you. It'll be a whole thing. Wait, no, send it.
I should be like, oh god, wait, no. Oh no, sorry, I already sent it.
Except it's like from the voice of like a very
It
irritated.
is. It's very terse. Tell us where you are. We'll be here
Yeah.
for 3 days. Love you.
None. We are in Housestrow. I sent Edgar with a message to Glow Hollow. Tell us where you are. We'll be here for 3 days.
What?
Love you.
No, I meant to put Zen.
That's what you wrote right here.
She
That's
turns
what you
around
said.
and she's just like glowing with embarrassment.
Oh yes.
Adria puts a hand on her shoulder and she just,
Oh, I
young
forgot.
love.
This is Discord. I can.
He didn't look very young to me.
Well, she's young. One of them's young.
So kind of in the middle age love then? Meeting kind of in the middle?
The average.
Well, are we good? Will you notify us of a response?
Yep. I'll write down any response he has. If he responds on this docket here, and then you could check back if he responds. Normally it would be instant, but because Norm is obviously not available, we'll say that like it's like a she'll take a message sort of a situation. Like she's a fucking ye-old answering machine.
Sounds
Cool,
great.
cool.
You can come and check it. It won't normally work like this, but for the sake of like what's happened here, I'm gonna have to find out where they went and what happened to them and what they're doing. So I will then say we can leave it to you guys what you want to do. We could have the members who show up next time meet you here in Housestrow and then continue the adventure. And we could spend this session if you'd like. You could have some time in the city, or we could just kind of end the session here. Or you could all say, "Fuck it, we're not waiting the 3 days, and we're gonna head to Glow Hollow."
I mean, I'm excited to
Yeah.
spend some time in the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sabine can show them around.
Okay, what are you all looking for?
I also know a really great goblin tavern here.
You do.
They give me free drinks. So
Zen's
They
looking
did
for a
give you free
time
drinks.
machine. Sorry,
Well,
Zen's looking for a
Are you
time
from
machine
here?
to go back. No, I'm just kidding.
I've got bad news. A time machine for what? Did you
Sabine-
not
Oh,
get all of
man.
the ranger
You should
posters?
look for some
that
of
you needed?
those.
all the ranger posters.
Yeah. I will never forget.
God.
The only person who witnessed that is dead.
I know the shit's
The no batting an eye, kissing the poster and saying goodnight to it, and then going to bed.
It's
fucking-
horror is
listen,
just absolute fucking horror.
it's
true.
recorded. There's a recording of it. It exists.
So good.
For all
and
time.
They're just not even like, it's like not weird. Totally normal.
Yeah, didn't even like it wasn't phased. Oh my god,
Does
I can't.
Zensika
Yes, she
have like
does.
a sexy ranger?
Hot boy
Yes.
hair.
Yes. So in Elgrest,
Basically, yep.
some
Hot boy
lore,
hair?
some little Elgrest lore. There is like a group of rangers called the Lodge, and like somehow, some way, someone decided to like turn it into like a thing, and like have like there's like these they're the legendary rangers that are there. Like each of them are like good at something, and like there's Fade, like Ren, like oh god, what was his fucking name? Like
Damn.
like I had like all of them. Like let's see here. If I type in Heron on the list, will I find it? Oh,
There's
it's
a
not.
lot of really good memes in here for Hot Boy.
I can't find my fucking list of the lodge.
Scrolling up through the notes too.
The lodge. There it is. There it is. I found it. So there was
God.
Huntsman Daniel, who was known as Old Scratch.
Yeah.
There was
Oh,
Jace
Hotbod.
Hotbod Heron.
Oh, we were calling him Hot Boy.
Yeah,
oh,
Hotbod
boy,
Heron.
that's different. Okay,
God.
Hotbod Heron.
Yeah. Fendel.
I don't know. I like Hot
yeah.
Boy.
Fendel the Fade Renegade. Horace, this one you actually met and like got to know and like work with.
I remember
Horace the Bear Gemruck. Tammy Moss Cloak. I remember Nud's failed attempts. Poppin the Watcher Cloverfield. There's Yessa the Playkeeper. And there was a couple little nerds in training that they're called Scouts. Megan, Milo, and Gregory Stonesoul.
That's enough to have like the ranger equivalent of like
Yes.
the fireman calendar.
That's exactly what it is. It's pretty much that. Like they get posters and like Fendel's is like really like blurry and shit because like he's like, I'm not doing this. Like this is serious shit. Like we don't do this. Like we have an actual fucking job to do. And I did it because each one is a different ranger enclave.
Okay.
Each one is a different like
and Zen wants
type
to
of
join.
ranger.
She wants to join
So
these
there's a
rangers. Like that's her
Beastmaster.
dream.
She was offered. She
Oh.
was offered a position under, I believe like Horace offered. Tammy said she'd be willing to take you under her wing. You had to like apprentice with them. Like you had to basically go and like ask
totally
to be
Zen's
apprenticed
next
to
step
like one of them.
in her journey, and this would be her name. She would be Zen, the Angst Queen Flintfingers. Like that's appropriate.
That's something they don't
Yeah.
tell you is you don't get to
this.
pick your name.
She would definitely pick something else, but this is probably what she'd be given. The kid. Oh,
Zen the Kid
hate that.
Flintfingers. Yeah.
Oh, good stuff.
Speaking of poster related things, Sabine definitely while she's like pick up like a poster or like memorabilia from the house's gift shop of Taken Twice Tarn.
You see there's one of you.
Remind herself.
There's one of you.
Oh my god,
there.
there's one of me?
Yeah, it's like a little bit more obscure because like you were here for a while. But you were like a unique fighter. So like there's one of you. There's just like a fucking huge wolf like towering. It's like a silhouette of like a dude who's like cowering underneath you with his hands up, and you're just like, it's like a very like it's like the view is like the back of like his head and his hands are up, and like it's like a huge wolf like taking up most of like the silhouette of the poster, like covered in blood, like with angry eyes, like kind of like with a mouth glowing with fire coming out the sides.
They really did me up there.
It's very like Roman, like Hercules style, like art.
I thought you were about to say that like they had Funko me or something.
They had what?
Like Funko Pops?
No, they do not have a bobblehead of a wolf.
Yes.
Fine, fuck it. Yeah, there's a bobblehead.
Oh my god, I love
it. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Inside of it, there's like a little fire that comes out of the mouth that bobbles as well.
Oh yeah.
It's like a little piece of like red paper.
Oh my god, if only fucking lighters were a thing, little like wolf lighter.
There's a whistle. There's like a little whistle for kids that like you like it's like a wolf like in the form of like a flute, but at the end it's like a hole, and there's like red and yellow streamers. So if they blow into it, it looks like fire's coming out of the little flute wolf's mouth.
That's adorable. I love that.
Yeah, it's a little corner shop in here. Run by a goblin. Maybe you know him. Maybe he was one of the people that like he died, came back, and he's like, all right, this is how I'm gonna pay off my debt. Fuck being in the arena.
Can Zen pick up one of these and like look at it, and then she looks up at Sabine. Is this you?
I guess. I didn't realize I was
so
that popular.
That they made this after you.
Crowd favorite.
That was the kind of thing I caught up with. I was talking about before. My previous patron kind of shopped around in terms of warlocks, picked 1 billion people, and apparently wants to pit them all to death and just have one at the end. And one happened to be here and tricked me
That's
into
horrible.
a contract that I couldn't get out. So,
Oh.
yeah. To be honest, he sounds like he was one of the nicer ones, because he didn't kill me when he beat me. Which apparently is not that's not the usual thing. But anyways, yeah, I fought here for a while, and I guess people thought.
Wow.
Also, the master also set it up.
What?
The master of the house set it up. You were a
yeah.
crowd favorite, but
Lollian.
yeah, in case you came back, he wanted to keep kind of like the name going.
I see.
Not have people forget, because if you came back and fight, it's going to drum up more business and people still remember you.
Oh, okay.
It's an investment, he said.
Do I get like royalty fees from him using like my face?
I don't
Should we
know.
get you a lawyer?
You gotta talk to him about that. It's funny, like you call upon your lawyer, it is him. It is your patron. Ooh,
Turns out I signed away licensing rights.
You can't sue me. You can't make me sue myself. Sorry.
That's
Hey,
funny.
you'd have to talk to him about that.
It's not worth it.
Well, where do you recommend we go in town? We've got some time to kill.
You said that you had some bars that you used to go to?
Oh, there's a great goblin bar to go to. Sit down for a while.
Sure. That sounds like fun.
All right, it's this way. She'll head out and start walking up to it.
To where?
IDK to the goblin bar.
To the goblin bar. Not offensive at all.
It's literally a bar run by goblins. What am I?
Oh yes.
I think it was called the Green Goblin.
It's not called the Green Goblin. I have some I have more like class than that.
Okay, what was it called?
Green Ears Bar and Grill.
Okay.
That's classy as shit.
Oh god.
Okay, we go to Green Ears Bar and Grill.
This isn't like the fantasy equivalent of a sports bar, is it?
It's
probably is.
Every tavern here kind of is that.
Oh my god.
But it's like you can't watch sports there.
Look, I already threw someone out of this tavern, so it should be fun.
But bets can get placed here for the arena. Like people who don't go to the arena, like they can place bets here for like fights.
Oh fuck yeah.
We might have to hit up the arena. That sounds real cool.
I mean, it's fun.
You could fight in it if you want.
Wait, can you? She looks at Sabine and says, I'm not wanting to be offensive, but can you get inside a tavern?
Can she in the wolf form?
You would have to go through your bulk form to get through the doors. You're fucking huge.
Yeah, she is pretty big.
And this is like, it's not like I don't want to say like it's a smaller bar, but like it's just like a couple inches off of like a normal, like it's almost like when like you go into a house and like the ceiling is just a little bit too short and you're like, it's not unlivable, but it's weird and uncomfortable. It's kind of like that for like humans and like stuff, people that are taller. But like I feel like for Zen and for Remy, like this is like a normal like sized place, because like it's mostly frequented by small folk.
Oh yeah, she definitely wouldn't fit them.
Adria's head like brushes like kind of like it's a tavern, so it's huge, but like anytime you go into a room, your head kind of brushes the ceiling a little bit.
She'll kind of like huff a little bit and like, oh, okay. And she'll transform into her furbulk, which is just like kind of a wild girl, like covered in pelts. There's like sticks in her hair, like probably covered in dirt too.
A weird wild cat woman.
Uh-huh. Okay, I
All
can
right.
fit
Didn't
in.
invent a shower. Where you all from?
Remy,
Yeah, don't be rude.
be rude.
I mean,
I would never say something
that's
like
true.
When Zen says that, Adria just like glances down at her, but chooses to say nothing.
that. She said,
What
I
did
would
Zen
never say
say?
something like that.
Adria will duck in and go find a table.
I mean, showers are cool, though. That's definitely a bonus that civilization has. I've tried them out a couple.
Zen shows Sabine her feet, and because she's a little halfling, so she's just got bare, very large and dirty feet. Don't worry, Sabine, it's fine.
Oh, thank you. Uh-oh, what is Steve typing?
I was doing a meme.
Oh no. If there's a fight going on right now, Sabine would definitely like put in a bet.
Let me take a look here.
She may have learned how to handle money, but it's not that she knows how to handle money well.
There's currently not.
Okay.
My God.
There's currently not.
Well,
There's a 50-50.
Adria, if you wanted to do that, and we're here for a couple days, they'd take anybody. We could enter as a team.
She'll sit down and order a round for the table, and she'll. Can you tell me what's expected in these fights, or what you're actually fighting? Is it beasts? Is it other opponents?
It's for the most part other opponents. Were there any beasts, Steve?
Yeah, there's monsters. It's monsters,
Okay.
people. Really just depends on what's on the docket for the day, and it could be anything.
I mean, we're down members, but in truth, it would probably be good for us to get into a scuffle that's controlled, so we know where everyone fits in battle.
You can make money off of it too, as long as you win.
As long as you win, that's the key.
Yeah.
I would
Steve,
prefer a beast, though.
Was the free revive only available to people who had a contract?
No, that contract was like you're talking about your patron contract, I believe. Like when you enter, you sign like a waiver that's like if you die, like you could die. That's a thing that could happen. And you can basically choose to like opt in for like, oh, if I die, like I can be brought back. Like I will, pay the costs of like the revivify essentially. If I do eat it.
Well, with me around, hopefully that shouldn't be an issue.
It's very much a racket. Like you're forced into like working off that payment one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
The keeper of the house is very, very good at what he does.
You seem very strong. You look very intimidating.
Well, that doesn't mean I can automatically win a fight. Anything we go into, we need to do as a team and work together.
It would be a good team building exercise.
That is exactly what I'm thinking.
I mean, they have ranks. We could always just enter like the lowest rank. Be safe.
Can you, having been in this before?
Oh, that's a good question.
You are still bronze.
I'm still bronze.
You
okay.
would have been silver had you beaten Tegan, but you didn't. So you were kind of like you're kept down at the bronze level, so you could enter as a team again.
Yeah,
But they
he
wouldn't.
fucking thrashed me.
Yeah, you wouldn't advance. You wouldn't advance. You would have to advance to silver as a group at that point. Then you would even though you could technically in a couple more fights advance to silver, because you're entering as a team that is still bronze, you would have to win X amount of fights, and you would all have to go up at silver at once.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be a problem, Remy.
Well, certainly don't see the problem with it.
We should at least enjoy a good drink first.
You know, I haven't gotten to try one of those yet.
Alcohol?
I think that... Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming that one hasn't either. She glances at Zen, so she says, how about we plan to fight tomorrow?
Sounds great.
Then you won't have to worry about the consequences of this. She kind of lifts up a tankard.
Lifts up a what?
Like a tankard of alcohol.
Yeah, I would say you just mark off the money, but you could be served. It's like it's like a copper for a crappy ale, 2 for a decent one. You want
By the way,
better than that, you'll have to pay better than that and ask for it.
She does include everyone at the table, so if Zen wants to partake,
Zen
she can.
does not partake.
If then get served.
She has tea instead. She has water instead.
We don't have tea. Wouldn't recommend it, but here you go, hon.
Oh, this is kind of brown.
Probably safe
She
for
just
drinking
pushes
the
it
alcohol,
across
if
the
we're
table and
honest.
says, I think I'm good.
Fair.
A tankard of ale is left near you.
Remy, Zen, neither of you have mentioned any preference about going into a fight.
I said I wouldn't mind.
I'm not particularly thrilled with the idea, but if you need me, I'll be there.
Speed will get one of every, slowly get one of everything, right?
Okay, of food or
in terms of the alcohol.
Okay, so they've got regular ale, what they call quote unquote fancy ale, which is just a not as shit ale. And then they have they do have wine.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a silver for a tankard. And it's they don't have glasses. It's still in a tankard. Which God, why haven't I done that? Anyway, then they have what do they fucking call it? Fuck. They've got what they call elf water, which is fucking vodka.
She'll definitely try anything Adria suggests.
I don't know why I made elves fucking drink vodka, but that's an executive decision that happened.
Love that.
It's like an Underdark thing, we'll say. Where it's distilled.
Amazing. Adria doesn't go too deep, though. She pretty much stays into the ale. It's cheap.
Ale doesn't get you too drunk. I don't know how many know medieval history, but ale was most people drank ale because water was not. If you got a disease from water, you were going to die then. So most people did drink alcohol, even the children.
Plus, last time she came here, she had to throw someone out, so she's trying to be a little observant.
There is someone that's in the spot of the bouncer now, a very
good. They found
big,
someone.
Yeah, a very big orc woman.
That looks like a new friend. in my mind. To Zen, she'll add on back to that conversation they were talking about. To Zen, she'll say, we are all an entirely new group that have never been in battle yet. That way we can establish ourselves together when the risks aren't as high.
Suppose.
Besides, you can shoot from afar. You won't be in much danger.
She just shrugs and looks down at the table.
Have you... I kind of glance to Remy and then to Zen and say, have either of you fought since you lost Cora?
Zen says nothing, and she doesn't look up. She doesn't say anything.
If you are inquiring as to my battle capabilities, I can assure you I'm quite proficient.
She kind of nods to Remy and keeps an eye on Zen and... Perhaps you and I should work on that first. Don't want you panicking in the field. And, that's not a diss on you. It happens. Commonly. But it's something you can work
Should
through.
have been able to save her.
Adria will lean forward and she... Do you know what people with shields like mine do at the Rift? We stay left and right to the others. It's our entire job to take the blows so they can deliver the shots. I'm not a heavy hitter, but I can certainly block a good blow. There are plenty of important people that have died because I failed at that job. It happens. And it's hard to come back from. But you can come back.
I don't deserve to. And she stands up and she leaves the tavern.
Oh.
Well, that was dramatic.
I don't suppose you're going to go after her.
Me?
Adria stands and goes and follows her out.
Oh. Honestly, I think Sabine would go too. She's kind of feeling for Zen. Just quietly follow her out behind Adria.
Remy will sit in that booth and just be like,
Well, peace and quiet.
Finally.
It's like there's like a bunch of goblins and like small folk like drinking and like yelling all around you. You're
and yet it's still quieter.
Zen's just outside. She's just like against the wall, and she's clearly she was crying, but when Sabine and Adria come out, she like hurries and like wipes her eyes.
Kid.
How can I call
You've seen
myself
some
a
shit.
ranger?
What you do has nothing to do with what happened here. I don't think that's something you'll figure out for a while, but it is a fact.
I just thought I wouldn't let this kind of stuff get to me. And then I did.
It's good that you did. It's good that it affects you. It should. It should be
helps you
hard.
move forward.
How's it?
It helps you move forward. That's. I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat of you. That's how I try to look at it. One of my friends definitely in that other party died because honestly, I got clobbered. I got knocked out like several seconds into the fight just because I didn't know what I was doing. And but I've gotten a lot better since then. Been making sure to not make the same
I
mistakes.
guess I'm afraid that I haven't learned anything.
I can tell you have. I didn't need to know you before that, and I can tell you have.
Thanks.
Why don't you come back inside?
She nods.
We'll sit down for a while. Maybe grab some...
She goes back inside.
Adria will look at Sabine.
I'll come in too.
She'll clap her on the shoulder and head in after her.
Nod her head.
Teenagers.
Appreciate that.
Has Remy drank anything, by the way?
No, she's literally just sitting with her book open, reading.
Okay, when
You see
Adria
her
comes
being
back.
you see her being accosted by like Candy, one of the goblin like barmaids. You gotta drink something or leave.
I'll have hers. I'll pick up the tankard.
See? There you go. She'll drink it.
She's with me.
Why?
Why
She kind
what?
of gives her like a hell if I know.
Yeah, figure that one out. Walks off.
Sabine has like one or two different drinks in front of her, and she just like puts one in front of Remy. Like, see, they have one.
They're already gone. That goblin already left.
Oh. She'll take it back.
Well, are there any sights we should see in the city? Well, we've got a good buzz going.
Are there, Steve?
So there's the arena is kind of like the big to do of the city, but it's pretty late, so there's not much that's gonna be open. But there are lots of shops and there are even magic shops and armorers and weaponsmiths, all kinds of places because the people come here to fight in the arena, and so sometimes people will shop around. Like I'll say, like during your time here, you didn't need any like weapons because you were like, I have one, I'm good. But like I'd say like people came up to you and like offered to like be your smith. Like some people, like it was very rare for it to happen to bronze people. Like people get sponsored. It's very much a sports thing. So people get sponsored. They have like a favorite armorer, or like magic store or something like that. If they're a magic user, that like can sponsor them. So there's a lot of them here. Some are better than others. Some are sketchier than others. I'd say at one point, someone tried to commission you to for wolf armor, but like you didn't have any of the money to do it.
No.
And they were like, I can't be for free. They basically like, oh, we'll do it for just cost, and like you couldn't even afford the cost.
Oh. Yeah, pretty much.
But like if it's a thing that can be like made as a weapon or an armor, like here, like it can be made here, especially since like you're in Sanduuin. It's mostly like a very industrious like country. It wasn't plagued by the war, the bitter war feuds of like Krissune and Elgrest, like back and forth. These guys kind of stayed neutral until they like couldn't anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Sabine relays that to everybody. If you guys need anything, like adventuring wise, there's probably a lot of smiths and equipment shops that are open right now.
Well, there we go. Perhaps we could level up some gear or get some ideas should we win big in the arena.
It's a good idea. As they're as they're walking around, I guess like Sabine, a little buzzed, just like absentmindedly pulls out the deck that she has. So I think she specifically was holding it.
You were.
Um,
Would you like to draw a card from it?
yeah,
Oh my
fuck it,
god.
She'll draw a card from it.
It's not that.
PTSD.
It's not that though. That deck does exist somewhere, and I won't tell you where it's at. You've met the person who has it.
Shit.
Okay.
I think she'll offer it to Remy first. Do you want to pull a card?
Is this some sort of magic trick?
I guess so. Me and Faye found these a while ago. They kind of seems like they give like minor boons when you pull them. You can't really use them all the time, but I don't know.
Why not? I'll bite. I'll pull
Okay.
one.
Oh
Okay.
god, no.
I don't think Sabine's ever experienced a negative effect from it. If there are, she doesn't know about them.
Temperance. So a face card. So until your next long rest, your lowest ability score is treated as though it were the second lowest, and your highest as though it were the second highest. So basically, whatever your second highest ability score is, your lowest and your highest equilibrium out to that.
Oh.
Would Adria know what this is?
Roll me an Arcana check. It's gonna need to be pretty high.
I do not have high Arcana. That is a shocking 11.
No clue.
Yeah.
You were like, a magic deck. That doesn't sound good. Like everyone's heard of like the deck, but like this isn't that. It's some other kind of like, and you know of magical decks exist. Like they're not abnormal. There are
Okay.
like lesser things. So this one seems to be like a bit stronger than most.
Then to Sabine, she'll what is that exactly?
I honestly have no clue.
I'll tell you what it's called at this point. I think Faye attuned to it at one point to see what it was. It's called the Deck of Fates. They're metal cards. You can only have one user pull one card a week. They're all stuck together, and the cards reshuffle after dawn. No attunement required. She basically just like sat with it for an hour to like discern what it did.
Yeah, she'll relay that as she pulls the card.
Very, very interesting.
Honestly, I haven't really had any use for it, but figured it'd be fun to pull out while we're wandering around.
It's
See
definitely
what it actually
interesting.
does. Is Remy like super buff now?
No.
Does she have like a dump stat?
Is strength your dump stat?
No charisma.
You suddenly get like more charisma, and you might be a little bit dumber.
Oh, she's a lot a bit dumber.
What was your second highest stat?
16.
So you went from a 20 to a 16.
Yep.
Yeah, you got a bit dumber.
And she went from an 8 charisma to a 10.
Oh no!
That's not good. Good thing we're fighting tomorrow.
Any change? Like outwardly?
No, probably not.
You'll just kind of, after drawing it and like, I don't know, I feel like that big of an intelligence drop, you would feel that somehow.
Yeah, I feel like you're like, I know I didn't drink, but I know what feeling drunk is like. I did it once. This is that. Somebody slipped something to me somehow, even though I didn't drink or eat anything.
You'll just kind of like push away from the counter and I'm going to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, there are negative effects. This is one of those ones that it's like, it's not super helpful or super detrimental. It's kind of like, meh.
It happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It will in certain situations help you a little bit, and in certain situations hurt you a little bit. This deck is based off of the Terra decks. Like I told you, Terra decks have like a little bit more of a presence in this world as playing cards and stuff like that. This is one I found some stuff on, and some of this stuff, most of this stuff I actually made up.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are negatives in here. Like the Tower and the Devil and the Hanged Man are not good.
They don't
But-
sound it.
But like the Sun and Judgment and Strength are all good.
Okay.
Like Strength, I'll give you some examples. Strength is until your next long rest, you gain proficiency in all saving throws.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a good one.
The Hanged Man is until your next long rest, you lose proficiency in all saving throws.
That
There's
could be really
yeah.
bad.
Death is until your next long rest, you have disadvantage on all death saving throws.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should sleep.
He's going.
Yeah, there's some fun ones in here. I made some adversarial ones, like Justice. If someone has wronged you in the time you pull this card, and before you pull another, you have advantage on all rolls against that individual, while they have disadvantage on you. The reverse is true in that if you wrong another, they will have advantage on you, and you will have disadvantage.
Yeah, I should
And
probably
wrap up. It looks like.
Yeah.